Hello again, our most valued student. My name is Confident and welcome to Egurulen Tech College. This lesson is an excerpt of the Mathematics N3 question paper that was written in August 2017, and this lesson provides the answers to some of the questions. Now, for more information on this question paper, you may visit our website on www.egurulentech.co.za, or you can send us an email on info@egurulentech.co.za. Alternatively, you can call us on 011-040-7343. Now, this, as I said, is an excerpt of a lesson. It is not a full version of the lesson. Now, should you require the full version of the lesson and more of these revision on previous question papers, please remember to send us an email and we will gladly send them to you, but at a fraction of a price. We have got also a full curriculum of the Mathematics N3, whereby it will help you to prepare for your final exams. This is a good way of revising, or a good way of learning outside the classroom if ever you are limited by time, or if you want different ways of approach to your maths. Please note that errors may be present in this memorandum. However, should there be any errors, remember, or please note that they are not the responsibility of the Department of Higher Education and Training. However, they are the responsibility of the person who made them, and in this case it is me. Now, should you pick up any errors in this memorandum, you are welcome to send any revisions or any suggestions, and we will also make the necessary changes. Now, please note also that no part of this video may be reproduced in any form, whether by print or email or recording or any other. As I said, should you require more of these videos, we can send them to you at a fraction of a price. You cannot make any copy without the written permission of the college. Now, let's go back to our lesson again. As I said, this is the lesson, a short excerpt of Mathematics N3 that was written on the 10th of August in 2017. Now, Mathematics N3 is a 3-hour paper. Usually it's from morning, from 9 to 12 o'clock. One of the things that most people forget is the reading of the instructions on the question paper. It is very important for you to always understand what are the things that you are supposed to do or you are not supposed to do. The most important thing that I always remind students is number 3, which says number the answers according to the numbering system used in this question paper. You might find some of the students end up writing their own numbering system, which end up resulting in them losing some marks. Also, number 4 says questions may be answered in any order, but subsections may not be separated. Please remember that line. You can answer, for example, if you are strong in question number 5 and you feel like you can get all the marks in question number 5, and you want to start with question number 5, it is also acceptable to start with that question number 5. But if there is 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, let's say until 5.10, make sure that you answer all those subsections in the same question. You are not allowed to answer maybe question 5.1 up to 5.4 and then later you choose to answer question 5.6. You have to answer the whole question including its subsections so that it is easier for the examiners to follow. Also, you need to show all your calculations, very important. Show all your calculations and in intermediate steps. Most of you are used to working some of your methods, your workings on a on the question paper that is given, and then you forget that you need to take all that working that you're doing and put it back in your answer script. So please don't leave out any important working. And it says all graph work must be done in the answer book, so there is no graph paper that is provided, unlike in other N2 and N1. All final answers must be accurately approximated to 3 decimal places. That is very important if ever they didn't specify. Diagrams are not to scale. The attached formula sheet is not necessarily complete. It means some of the formulas are not given. As well as, importantly, you need to write neatly and legible. So they will penalize your marks if ever you don't write neatly. Let us look at the first question that was asked in that particular question paper. It says factorize the following as far as possible in prime factors, and the key thing to note is as far as possible and in prime factors. Now we are given 3, 1 plus 2k squared minus 8, 1 plus 2k minus 3. So one of the things I always prefer to do is to say let 1 plus 2k equal to m. It makes it easier for you to simplify it. So you are going to have 3m squared minus 8m minus 3 is equal to 0. Actually, remember, this is an expression. You don't have to equate it to 0. So in fact, you say equal to from this side. This is equal to. Now you have to factorize. So what you're going to have is, I use the product and sum method to say factorize, which is 3m squared. Let me look at my product and sum here. My product is equal to minus 9m squared. My sum is equal to minus 8m. And my factors, I'm looking for two numbers. When you multiply them, you get minus 9m squared. How did I get minus 9? I multiplied 3m and minus 3. That's why I'm getting minus 9. And then when I add them, I get the center number, which is minus 8m. But for more information on the product and sum, as I said, we've got a full curriculum on mathematics N3. You can always follow up on that. Now, going back to this product and sum method, my factors, two numbers, when I multiply them, they will give me minus 9, and when I add them, they will give me minus 8. The two numbers is negative 9m and 1m. So if now I write the next line, it will be minus the 8m now is minus 9m plus 1m minus 3. If I further factorize in the first one, what is common in the first two? What is common is 3m, and I'll be left with m minus 3 plus 1 m minus 3. So I will have m minus 3 and 3m plus 1. So that's what I am having. But don't forget that we said m, if I can need more space there, I'll erase. We said m was equal to 1 plus 2k. So now if we take it back, where it says m minus 3 and 3m plus 1, and 3m plus 1, you are going to have 1 plus 2k minus 3 and 3, 1 plus 2k plus 1. So you will have, now if you collect like terms, you are going to have 2k plus 1 minus 3, and here if you multiply 3 must multiply these two, open up the bracket, you are going to have 3 plus 6k plus 1, and then this will become, again if you solve, it will be 2k minus 2, and then you'll have 6k plus 4. Now something that you're noting here is that there is 2 that is common in the first one. You take out the 2, again multiply. There is also 2 between 6k and 4. You take out that 2. Remember, they said into prime factors, so the key there is to always leave your answer in prime factors, meaning you factorize as far as possible. If you take out 2 in the first one, you will have k minus 1, and you take out 2 in the second one, remember we took out 2 of the 2's, you will have 3k plus 2. So the final answer then you're going to have on this one will be 4k minus 1 and 3k plus 2. So that was the method for this first question, which says factorize in prime factors as far as possible. It will give you 4 marks. Now let us move on to look at the question 1.2 as it is given. Question 1.2 says determine the smallest value of k for which the expression x cubed, so I'll let it automatically become f of x, so that becomes easier. Let f of x become equal to, they say is what is x cubed plus 5x squared minus k x minus 4. So they're saying determine the smallest value of k for which the expression x cubed plus 5x squared minus k x minus 4 is exactly divisible by x minus k. Now remember, if x minus k is a factor, what you must remember is x minus k, because it's a factor, you equate it to 0, meaning what is x? X is equal to k. K, you are solving for x. So if you are solving for x, k jumps the sign, it becomes positive. Now which means also, what you must remember, f of k must be equal to 0. Remember, it is a factor, so when you substitute k in the expression, you must get a 0. Now let's just substitute. F of k is equal to k cubed plus 5 k squared minus k minus 4. So wherever there is an x, you put a k, which becomes k cubed plus 5k squared minus k squared plus 4k. Which is 4k. Now what you get there, if you continue, you're going to have k cubed plus 4k squared, it's not plus, it's k cubed, it's a positive actually, 4k squared and plus 4k. Now you can see that you can take k out, you'll be left with k squared plus 4k plus 4. Now remember, as we said, if I take it to the next part, fk is equal to 0, so it means k squared plus 4k plus 4 is equal to 0. So therefore k is equal to 0, or k squared plus 4k plus 4 is equal to 0. So if you factorize that, you're going to have, remember I'm using the product and sum, you're going to have k plus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore either k is equal to -2 or k is equal to -2. So here the smallest value of k is equal to -2. So that is the answer. Remember, the question was determine the smallest value of k. So in this case, the smallest value of k is equal to -2. Now let us look to the next question, which is question 1.2. Now question 1. It's actually, we have done question 1.2. Now we are looking at question 1.3. Question 1.3 says simplify the following expression. Now in the following expression, if we are simplifying it, you are given a squared plus a minus 6 over a squared minus 9 divided by a squared minus 3a plus 2 over a squared minus a times a minus 3 over a, and it's a lovely 6 marks. You can't lose marks in such questions because that is where you can get simple marks. Now the whole question is based on your lesson on factorizing. Again, this is the product and sum method that I was talking about. So if you know how to factorize, you can simply get all these marks. Now if we look at this question carefully, one thing also to note is that division sign. Remember, when you change it into a multiplication sign, the denominator of this fraction will go on top and then the numerator will go below. That is the main trick also. So it's factorizing and also remembering that that particular sign, you have to change it into a multiplication sign. So we're going to do that all at once and then get the answer. Now the first one, if we're factorizing the first part of the fraction, I'm looking at that first part, you are going to get a plus 3 and a minus 2. Remember, it's the product sum method, and when you look at the denominator of the same fraction, it's a difference of 2 squares, which is a minus 3 and a plus 3. And as I said, we are now putting a multiplication sign. When we're putting a multiplication sign, this will go on top. So if it's going to go on top, you can see that a is common there. I have to use my pen. A is common. If you take out a, you'll be left with a minus 1 all over. Now the top part, which is now at the bottom, which is now the denominator, if you factorize, you are also going to get a minus 2 and a minus 1. Remember, as I said, this is the product and sum method that you must be familiar with. then you write a minus 3 over 1. Then what is needed now is for you to cancel out what is common. Now we've got a plus 3 cancelling out, and we have got a minus 3 cancelling with the far extreme. A minus 3, a minus 2 cancel with a minus 2, a minus 1 cancels with a minus 1, and the a cancels with a. As you can see, the final answer is simple a1. So as I said, this was the most part where you're supposed to get your answers. And you might ask, where are the 6 marks coming from? They are going to be marking your factorizing. So you can factorize on top. This can give you 2 marks, and 3 and 4, and the final answer 5. But since maybe there was a lot of factorizing in the first fraction, they can give it 3 marks, but you get 6 marks in this particular question. Let us move on to look at question number 2. It says simplify the following. So now if we're simplifying the following, I'll start with one easier method that is possible if you are able to see that, but I'll also show you 2 versions of that. Now what are we given? We are given x minus 2 root x plus 1 over square root of x minus 1. Now this is equal to, it needed someone to identify and see that this is x minus 1 and square root of x minus 1. Again, look at the marks, it's 2 marks, meaning the answer is just by the corner over x minus 1. Now just to prove this square root of x minus 1 and square root of x minus 1, if you expand this, remember expanding x minus 1 multiplies by that. If you expand it and minus 1 multiply by that and that, you are going to get square root of x times square root of x is x. Square root of x minus times minus 1 is minus 2 square root of x. Minus 1 times minus 1 is plus 1, which is exactly the same that you got initially. So which means the way we factorized is correct. Then, but remember, you don't need to show that proof. I was just doing it for you to see that it's the same thing. Then after that, you can cancel x minus 1, and the answer is square root of x minus 1. But if you're doing a bit longer method, remember you're given x minus 2 root x plus 1. This is an alternative method. So as an alternative method. So now what over square root of x minus 1? You can say let square root of x be equal to m. Now if you say let square root of x be equal to m, so what I'm trying to say is if you square both sides here and you square both sides here, so what you're going to have now is x is equal to m squared. That's what you're going to have for x. So now if x is m squared, where you see the first x, when you rewrite it, you are going to have, where there is x, you put your m squared minus 2. Remember root x is m plus 1 over root x, remember, was m minus 1. Now when you factorize that using product and sum method, you are going to have m minus 1 over m minus 1. And similarly, you cancel out that m minus 1, you are going to remain with m minus 1. But don't forget that what is our m? Our m is square root of x. So this is same as square root of x minus 1, taking us back to the previous answer that we also got as square root of m minus 1. Now let us move on to the next question. it says solve for x. So the first one, 2.2.1, says solve for x by completing a square there. X squared, which is x squared minus x minus 6 is equal to 0. It's not a difficult question. The only thing you needed to know is how to complete a square. So now the first thing, the one that I'm going to use, the method I'm going to use, is to take this minus 6 to cross the jump the equal sign. We are going to have x squared minus x is equal to a 6. And then when you have done that, the laws, remember you must use the rules for completing a square. We are going to have x squared minus x, and then it says plus half the coefficient of x. Now, not of x squared. Coefficient is the number just before x. In this case, there is a 1 just before x there. So the coefficient of x will be minus 1, but it says half the coefficient of x. So you divide it by 2 squared. That's what is this. So it's plus half the coefficient of x squared is equal to 6. What you do on the left, you also do on the right. Minus 1 over 2 squared. When you have done that, what you'll have, now you'll have x. You are taking that x and what is inside that square, which is minus half. So it's x minus a half, but now you put them in a square because they were, these two are in a square. So x minus half is equal to, if you use a calculator on the right hand side, if you punch with the calculator, if I punch, I'm getting 25 over 4. And you know, when we are done with the 25 over 4, what you need to do is to square root both sides. So now if I put a square root on both sides, I'm gonna write it here because of space. If I put a square root on both sides, what I'm going to have will be x minus 1 over 2 is equal to plus or minus 5 over 2, which means x is equal to, if you take now the half, which is negative to jump the sign, it will be x is equal to 1 over 2 plus or minus 5 over 2. So now you can have two values of x if you use a calculator. The first one will be x. If you use the positive, which is 1 over 2 plus 5 over 2, it will give you x is equal to 3, or x is equal to 1 over 2 minus 5 over 2 is equal to negative 2. So these are the two values of x. Moving on to the next question, 2.2.2, it says solve for x. What you're given there is 5 to the power x plus 1 over 5 to the power 1 minus x is equal to 750. Now what you need to do using the laws of exponents is to take this bottom or the denominator, to take it on top. Now it can happen only using the laws of exponents, which is 5 to the power x plus, and when you take it on top, you introduce a negative, which is 5 to the power negative bracket 1 minus x, don't forget that bracket, is equal to 750. Now with that, you open up that bracket, which is 5 to the power x plus 5 to the power negative 1 plus x. After opening the bracket, the negative will multiply the 1, making it a negative. The negative multiply the negative x, making it a positive, is equal to 750. Now, when you have done that, the next important thing that you can follow up is to split this particular part. And when you split it, you get 5 to the power x plus 5 to the power negative 1 dot 5 to the power x is equal to 750. Let us take it to the next page As I said, it was 5 to the power x plus 5 to the power negative 1 dot 5 to the power x is equal to 750. Now you start to see something common. 5 to the power x is common and it is separated by a positive sign, which means we can factorize 5 to the power x. Now if you factorize in the first one, 5 to the power x into 5 to the power x, you get a 1, plus 5 to the power x into the second one, you get 5 to the power negative 1 is equal to 750. And then when you use a calculator, you'll be dividing plus 1 plus 5 to the power negative 1 over 1 plus 5 to the power negative 1. You are going to get 5 to the power x is equal to, you need to use a calculator, and it gives me 625. Please rely on the calculator for this one. There's no need for you to try to solve it by head. So 5 to the power x, now if you look at 625, is same as 5 to the power of 4. In other ways, you have to put everything in base 5. Why? So that when the bases are matching, according to the laws of exponents, you equate the exponents. So which means x in this case is equal to a 4. Now this is not important. You must not do this in your final exam, but in your rough work you can prove if your answer was correct. Now if you look at the question, they gave us 5 to the power x plus 1 over 5 to the power that. If you look at that question, it's 5 to the power x plus 1 over 5 to the power 1 minus x is equal to, our x is 4, you put 5 to the power 4 plus 1 over 5 1 minus 4. If you use a calculator, if we're using our calculator, you'll see that it gives us 750, which is equal to the right hand side. So it means our answer in this case is correct. Now moving on to the question 2.3, we are still solving for x. It says log that, if I write it clearly, it's log 3 to the power of x plus 3 to the power 1 minus x is equal to log base 3 of 1 plus log 4 over log base 2 of 2. Now they want you to solve this particular problem, but there are a few things that already you can note or you can spot using the laws of logarithms. The first one is that any number, any log, whatever base, log base 3 of 1, log 1, whatever base, you always get a 0. That you must always remember. And also, you must also remember that a number with its base, if it's the same, like log base 2 of 2 is a 1. These you must always remember. Log base 2 of 2 is 1, which means log base 10 of 10 is 1. Log base 5 of 5 is 1. So now, in other ways, if you are to rewrite this whole expression now, you are just having log 3 to the power x plus 3 to the power 1 minus x is equal to 0 plus log base 4 over 1, meaning log 3 to the power x plus 3 to the power 1 minus x is actually equal to log 4. Now, if you still remember in the previous example, if I can go back to the previous example, we said in this one, when the bases were the same, still remember here, the base was a 5 and the base was a 5. What did it do? The exponents, we equated the exponents. So in the similar case here, we have a log with the same base and a log with the same base. Because the logs are the same, we can also similarly equate the left hand side to the right hand side. So what are we having? We will now have what is on the left, 3x plus 3, 1 minus x. This will give us a 4. And our next thing now is to solve these exponents. If I'm taking back, it was 3x plus 3, 1 minus x was equal to a 4. Now if I check again, this question was 5 marks. So moving on, using the laws of exponents, is 3x plus 3 to the power 1. I'm splitting 3 to the power negative x is equal to a 4, which is 3 exponent x, remember, plus 3. Now as you can see, the power is negative. Now because the power is negative, it goes back down there to become, making it positive, is now 3x is equal to a 4. Now to simplify everything, we have to get rid of that fraction. In other ways, we have to multiply everything by 3 exponent x. It must multiply 3 to the power x plus, again, everything is multiplied plus 3 exponent x is equal to 3 exponent x. So in other ways, you are multiplying everything by 3 exponent x so that you can get rid of that fraction. So in here, what you see now, we are having 3 exponent x multiplying 3 exponent x, then you cancel there, plus 3 is equal to 4 dot 3 exponent x. And then you can do the same thing that we did to say here, let 3 exponent x is equal to m. So here you will have m dot m plus 3 is equal to 4m. If you do it everything, you are going m dot m is m squared minus 4m plus 3 is equal to 0. Now if you factorize there, back to factorizing, you are going to have m minus 3, m minus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore m is equal to 3 or m is equal to a 1. Now because of my space, let me divide my line there. Now, but remember, we know our m is 3 to the power x. So we're saying, but three to the power x is equal to our m. So here you'll have the first one, 3 to the power x is equal to 3. In this case, if it's equal to 3, the power there is a 1. So in other ways, x is equal to 1. Or the next one, it says m is equal to 1, which is 3 to the power x is equal to a 1. But you know that any number to the base 0 is a 1. What I mean is 3 to the power x is equal to 3 to the power 0. Any number to the power of 0 is 1. So in this case, x is equal to a 0. So these are the two answers. Again, remember, you have got your x is equal to 1 and your x is equal to 0. You can come and put where there is x, you start with the first value. you can put the first value of x there, put the first value of x there. It will give you, you'll simplify the left side, and then take a calculator, punch. Actually, remember this one was a 4 because this is a 0, this is a 1, so you punch log 4. You will see that the left hand side will balance with the right hand side. Now, looking at the next question here, it is saying make x the subject of the formula. So here you are also supposed to make x the subject of the formula. You are squaring both sides, so it's like you are saying r squared is equal to square root of x squared plus y squared. You also square on both sides, so that was that way, and you will simplify that. And then you are also supposed to make n the subject of the formula in the next one, but you can see it says x over y is equal to z. This is a z to the power n. Now, because you are making n, you are making this n the subject of the formula, you must introduce logs, whereby when you introduce logarithms, this n is going to come down, and then you solve that. Is 3 marks. And the last question that they were asking here is Peter wants to get 2 million for his house. An agent charges 20% of the selling price, 20% of the selling price for selling the house for Peter. So the house is 2 million in this case, and the agent will charge 20%. What should the selling price be, and what will be the agent's commission? And in this particular question, most of the time is for you to say let the selling price be what? Be x. It means now the agent commission, the commission for the agent will be what? Remember, he wants to charge 20%, so it's 20 over 100 of the selling price that they're gonna sell, which is that. In other ways, if you simplify it to be 0.2x, you understand? So now, how do you go? Then you have to find how much will Peter get. Peter will get, his price is less 0.2 of the agent commission. So if the house was selling for x, then you must subtract the agent's commission. That would be the price that Peter will get. Then this is an equation that you must follow, and then you must equate it to 2 million. You solve for x, you can use a simple solution here. You add x minus this, subtract, then you solve for x, it will give you the price. But now, unfortunately, I have come to the end of the lesson because of time. As I said, this was not a full version of the whole question paper, but now should you require the full question paper for this, the full answers as suggested, you can request them from us at Egerland Tech College, and we will sell them to you at a fraction of a price. We will sell the whole combo for you, which includes the previous question papers like these ones done in a video form. We also have a PDF version of the previous question papers with the memos. Now these memos are from the Department of Education, that they are provided as suggested solutions, so you can utilize those. The PDF will contain a minimum of 5 question papers. And as also previously said, is the information that you can contact us on is 011-040-7343, or you can visit our website info@egerlandtech.co.za. Our website also is www.egerlandtech.co.za. We have come to the end of our lesson, and thank you again. This was a question paper which was written on August 2017, and we're providing the suggested solutions to this particular question paper. See you again in the next excerpt of these lessons. Thank you.